Hello everyone. In today's lab, I'm going to use V for reducing transportable tablespace downtime using a cross-platform incremental backup. Actually, I decided to use this V for reducing transportable space script because it's combine all kind of transportable tablespace. First of all, what's a transportable tablespace? It's instead of using regular and traditional export import, even with data bump, it will be very slow to use that. So they have introduced the transportable tablespace that will not import row by row of data. Uh, However, instead of that, it's going to use copying a whole file, having a metadata on top of it, and import it in the destination. That will reduce the time of export, time of import, and total activity will be less for migrating database. This migrating will be included even for different hardware or different version of database. So will be very useful. The only I see limitation with this based on Perl, and if a source is a non-Unix, Linux, and for the cross-platform, especially if it's a Windows, this will not work in Windows because it's based on the pair and the assumptions. As a top view of activity, we are going in phase of initial setup where we will prepare everything. Then we have to prepare the data to be transferred, data files will be transferred along with the RMAN backup 0. That will be in the phase of making copying the biggest file. However, the good thing here while doing this phases and even number 3 where we are feeding the target with the incremental backup, the source will continue in a read write only in the final phase where we will put the source in read only, or even if we will stop application and that to avoid any read write in the source. In this phase, this is the actual downtime will be with this RMAN incremental backup in the middle, that's preparing everything in the target the database. With this, we will minimize the downtime from maybe especially for a huge database from big numbers of hours or huge to be very minimum number of hours. So this is very useful. It's combined all kind of benefits of using and advantages of using uh, transportable table space and make it very easy instead of using your own steps. This will be automatically building all kinds of files need to be used. So let's start explaining what we have here. So let me just show you what I have prepared here. I have a source database and I have a target database. Show identify your source databases details. So let me show you in GUI a simple things that I have created. I have a test table, the schema, the test schema having a two table, one a big table and a second table that I'm going to use for feeding it with the stages to ensure that data has been moved. Big table is just a big table with more than 1 GB I have created to see how the scoping will be performed to compare it with regular export data bump. In the source database, I have a data files that been identified by me. That's the data file will be stored here as a test file space. Sorry, test data file. This is part of table space that I have identified. So one data file belong to the one table space test TS. This is my test data file table space having this test data file. So you have to identify which table space because transportable table space will work on top of which table space exactly you are intended to move from source to destination. In the destination, you can just see that before doing this activity that I don't have any uh, data files on it. So let me just go to the query here. So here is it. Here is it. Let me just minimize this more. So this the storage that I have, just to show you that before doing the activity, I don't have. You can see there is no test here. So as a post of our activity, we are expecting to have data files and the table space along with the data of two tables. That's with the latest data available. With this, that's mean we are success. We can use this for cross-platform, and we can use this with the same endianness platform. In my case, I will use it with the same to take a benefit of facilitate the, the, the migration from 12 to 19 using this feature of transportable along with RMAN incremental backup. So let's start. Where is my comments lines? Here is it. This is the comments line. I have created XTT folder, and there is a script available in that article, that document of Oracle, and this is my target database. I have just distinguished between this and this with the background, different background, and then the tab you can find that's the same thing here. This is target, this is the source. So let me start with unzipping this. So unzip this one in this directory, and let me create the same directory here. The main make dir XTT, because files will be shared between so and target later on. So let me come here and let me make this clearer as well with bigger size. So let me just follow the steps in my screen to ensure that I'm doing a right action. So we have identify, we have unzipped this one. After unzipping, we have to do certain steps to make XTT properties. So there is a file here. We need to feed it with our configuration. This is the file. It means go inside it and see which parameter. First parameter, it's table spaces. So table spaces need to be identified. Let's see. Yes, they have put an example, which is very good. That will help us. So here I can see table spaces, they mention it here. And from our configuration, we have identified the table space as this name. So let me take the table space that we have identified directly from GUI as well. Yes, that's possible. This is the name. I have it here, and I will paste it here. The platform, you can search about your platform ID from source and target. Sorry, let me just delete this. It has been copied by mistake. This is source database platform ID. But and I have same on both source and target because both are Linux only. So let me save this. Just run the query here using GUI like this. So my platform ID is 13. That's fine. Let me go back to my platform ID. It's a 13 already set up. And source crash location, I have to mention it here. Where is it? Yeah, and with destination data files. So let me just make sure that I have created this. You can change this if you would like to have. This location will be just like just where your backups and files will be stored in. So let me just ensure I have it. I will just ensure, and this is the destination data file. If you would like to have specific data files, let me check the current data files available here in the destination. So let's just select name from the data file. Yes, so path, I will change it to be with the current existing. For ASM, there is a different parameters need to be set up. You may ensure this. So and for here, just because I am using the same in the non-ASM file, so it will be directly inserted here normally. But for ASM, there is a different way to use this. There is alias and others. They are mentioning this in the document. You may refer back to this in case you are using. So this is the destination. Source, I will double check the source path that I have created. Destination back, I think I have already created this. If not, I have to create it with the Oracle privileged account. So let me just ensure that this folders exist. Yes, if there is anything in that one, I will clean it up as well to ensure it's empty. We can destination backup. Yeah, it's empty now. Let's revert back. What else do we have? So source crash location, destination crash location we have set it. And we have data file location. And there is one parameter recommended for 12 and above. If the source is 12 and above, it's recommended to be used. And since I am using a 12, this parameters, all things I don't need to change it. I will keep it as it's. There is a parameter called user man transport, and this will be functionality used, and they have explained it in details. And for me, because I am using 12c 12.2, so I'm going to enable this. If your source is 11, you may disable this and keep it without it. This is for the transport feature. Will be utilizing this. Details that you can read about this later. Well, it's not my intended to go over details here. Just I would like to show how the lab will work and prove that in simple step this will be helpful and work. All right, so we have set it the parameter. Now, after that, we have to copy all these files that been prepared here. So we will SCP, even if we go back to take the whole folder. So even here, I can just delete this folder to ensure that I have a new one, XTT. So here I will copy the whole directory, SCP -R, my home XTT, and I will put it in my destination, which is 192.68.26.107, and put it in the same path with the same name, XTT. All right. Password of destination. All right, let's verify that this one being created. CD XTT. Yes, here is it, everything. Perfect. All right, here we go. Now we are off the step to set the temp directory that will be used, where the scripts will be stored. As the output on both source and destination, I have the same. In case we have different, we may set differ. Now we will start the phase 2 of preparing phase. As a part of preparing phase, we are going to run the script in the source that will run a level 0 backup as per the configuration that we did. So we will start with this. So backup is going on. Level 0, let's take whatever time it will take, since the data on the source is still. While it's running, we are going to just run first insert. That's before. It should be before actually, but we can run it now as well. Let me just connect. Okay, one more backup. Let's take this as first level backup. We will do this insert, okay, with the commit. Okay, now we have this one. Let's revert back to our screens. Okay, new data file being added, and this one being created level 0. Okay, so the command will be like this: a destination and source location. Just before running this, let's just we will see the source location that we have backup file being created. So if you just revert back to our command, so we can just change it with our details. So destination will be our IP of destination, 192.107, and this one, the source location is our source backup here that we have configured in the property file, XTT property file, and destination will be our configured destination. So we had this one, dist backup. So this one will be used as the destination. Copying the file, Oracle password. You can see still the source database and read write. So while the database in the read write, we can perform the main and the biggest restore. Then on top of that, we will feed it with the incremental backup. Feeding with incremental backup will be very fast, and prior to the final incremental backup, it's recommended to have very small time one with the non-peak time that will ensure that the data is in very small matters that will applied in very fast time. Okay, this has been transferred. What else we need to transfer is the response file. There is a response file being generated here. So this one again, what I'm doing is exactly comments provided in the document. Just changing the parameter with my real parameters available with me. All right. Okay, now in the target database, we will go to in the home level, Oracle home and other should be set, and we will cd to the XTT and perform. Maybe in the document you will see it's in the home. However, if you try to do it, it will tell you that the pair does not exist. That's because the path they didn't mention it, but it's logic by logic. It should be from the same path that where the file is available. So I'm just going to run it like this. You can see it's going to do restoring. So while restoring is going on, let me revert back and do inserting again for the second level of this one. What that's mean, there is a transactions or data being going on inserted in the source while the base one is going on restored in the target database. So let me do this. You can see now in the target, let's revert back to our screen. Okay.
And okay, this being connected, RMAN and everything is restored perfectly. Good, good. So now I will do another incremental backup. We'll see how this will be fast. It's so fast because the data being changed is very, very few. Now the copying will be using different way. You can see because still if we are going to compare, so this the source backup, you can see the full previous full one and the small one is being created, but it's smart enough to do this with using a special script. So destination will be our destination here. This is the path. And the IP is 2168.07. This will have the details that will be copied there. So let's copy this. Perfect. That helps copying. And again, we will copy a response file here again. Right. Okay, we have copied this. Now we can apply the same again in the target using the same commands. You can see applying now will be very fast and still till now the source and read write. So while this is being completed, let's do another insert. So now will be before the last. We will do it not now while doing this one. So while doing the last, we will insert this. So we are expecting this row to be available in the target. So you have two choices after that, whether to directly prepare your script and doing the last backup, or you can do a source as a read only and keep it to run for the reports, for example. However, if the transaction database is handled here, or there is a database need inserts and updates, I mean DMLs, to be run against this, it will not be possible to have it as a read only. But if it's just a report system, yeah, you may have this choice. And in my case, I will not use a read-only option for the for the source. I will keep it as the read-write, but I will handle this as a last and run immediately the last step. So let me insert this with a commit and directly run the last backup again, the source. Okay. This can be run many times, and again, after that, we will run the same scripts to copy, to transfer this. Okay. And again, we will copy this response file there. We will apply the same on the destination. There is another option there that will be used for 12.c, that's with a new feature. But here I didn't use it. Maybe in another video we are going to use it. That's with the extra features. Okay, last parameters that we have to do it. is this one, and this we can prepare it as well prior to this. So there is export parameter we will do. And this will have last export to be run. We will just amend it with our details again. So table space, we have one table space in our example, which is this table space, full chain, yes, everything like this. Yes, let's keep the directory as it's. Better to check this directory. Where is it pointed to? Because this export will be saved in here. So let me just run this and see where is it will be located. So here the system password, I have it as a sys using this parameter. All right, I had a mistake with the name of table space. Let me take it from the same place that I put. Yes, this is the name. It was my bad. So let me just update it. This table space and run the command again. Now, while it's run, what I'm going to run, this is after the backup. Let me see if this export will take it or not. You can see this is not expected to be there. So if we go, okay, failure, okay, aborted. This is not in the read only. So you can see that as a source, you should put it in the read only. Without this step, it will not pass the read only. So while this is so as we saw that in order to do this, we have to make the table space as a read only. So let's mark this table space as a read only in the source. Oh, sorry, this should be run in the SQL plus. So make it as a read only. Okay, and again, we will run the last backup. Since we have changed this, let's use this one as a 12C. So we get the first example for the general prior to 12C, and now we are going to do the same for 12C. This will be same with different only in certain steps. So here, this will include both. This will be a final incremental backup and export file for transfer to destination. So let me run this now. This option is available only in 12C. That will combine both. So once we mark it as a read only, we can do both incremental backup and this one. What that's mean now, this one after will be available. So this immediately after you change it to read only, you will do incremental backup, and on top of that, you are going to run uh, the, the final export as well. All right, this is actually coming because the assumptions here that all other table space rather than system and sysux will be exported, while I have a different table space that was not intended to be transferred. So I can safely ignore this because I was not intended to do this. So let me just do the last steps after that. What I'm going to do, I will just transfer this to So the destination here, destination backup, and this one will be like this. And again, we will transfer this value, other files as well. As you can see, I'm copying the files. All right, now final step in the destination. We are going to apply this in the target. All right. Oh, sorry, it was my bad. Where's the dollar? Here is it. Okay. Okay, since we used the 12C option, and as per the document, we can go with the option of phase 5 with the skipping option 1.a, where we have to prepare the export, and we just directly can go to this file where this there should be a parameter file would be include. Yes, as per the document, this will generate a file that we can use it to import this one, this option. Yes, this is the option. Cat XTT plugin. This the dump file will be used. All right, so well, let's go to this. So using this, we will do a manual import. So all right, since we used the 12 option, we have to create and directly the import, manual import. There's two options, whether to use the DB link, direct link between the source and destination to do final import parameter, or we may use the manual one. Let me use the manual one since the file is copied here. I will put the parameter and find the parameter and do the prerequisite. If any, we will edit it according to our parameters here. So dump file will be our dump. This we will change it here. The directory, we have to verify that the directory is pointing to the dump location, and transport files should point to our data file that's been transferred during the time of this one, and this is the log only. So let's check first one by one. So the dump file, okay, the dump file should be in the same path that we have copied. Dump, this is the dump. So let's put this inside this. This is the dump to be imported. And the directory should be pointed to the path. So let's find this one, data file that we have configured. If you forget where this is located, you may open the property and see the path of data file that been configured here. So for us, the data file was configured in a path. Yeah, here is it. It will be in this path. So if I just list here the files there, okay, it will be like this. So let me take this. Sorry, this one. The item manual data file will be this data file. And last, I should ensure that the path is pointing to here. So let me check the path. Okay, let me select TPA, sorry, TPA directories. Right, select directory path from TPA directories where directory name equal to this name. If it's not exist, we may create a new one. Oh, sorry, it's my bad. Select with this details. Okay, so or no. Okay, it's my bad spelling mistake. Sorry for that. Okay, so the directory is not there. So I have to create this directory. Let me create the directory. All right, create the directory with this name as with the path, which is a home, Oracle XTT. All right, and I will grant read write on this directory to system. Cause the import going. So here I have created the needed directory for the path where the dump is available, and I granted the system user here the read write on this directory in order to perform the import later on. So let me continue with the path of phase 5. So let me just prepare everything here. This should work now. This is one. Okay. Let's see if any error come, we may correct it. Okay, you can see users not exist. That's mean we have to create this user. So let me create user test identified by test with this. Oh, sorry. Create user test identified by test. Let's see if the import will work now. Okay, that's done. Within 1 minute, the import has been completed. That's create. What's next now? We have to do a validations for this table space. So I have validate. I finished the validate with OK. You have to ensure that you are using the RMAN. And with the SQL, I have marked the target table space as a read write. And in order to verify the data that's there, I have just verified that the last step I have did here, the insert prior to the final export and data parameter being combined together. And I can see here the target. Now I'm getting the last transaction prior to the read only. And now I can safely do the same insert here in the new database with the step 5, for example, and after 5 as well, which can be inserted directly and reflected in the target database. With this, we have completed migrating and upgrading the database from 12C source to 19C as a destination using the V4 transportable tablespace migration, including the RMAN on top of it to minimize the downtime. Hopefully, this video and lab give you an idea and details about how this will be done in reality using my lab environment, and see you in another video.